Hi, welcome to Maverick and Dempsey's podcast with there she is, with the post-playoff, first round of the playoff show. You know, we're done with the wild card, and it was interesting. It was fun. A lot of blowouts, a lot of surprises, and I guess we'll start with where I was right and where I was wrong, and there was a whole lot of wrong. Yeah, it didn't go too well for me. I went with the experts on the Browns versus the Texans. I thought Flacco could pull it off. I thought the Cinderella story would last. That was shut down, and they were shut out. They scored points. They weren't shut out. I don't mean that like zero. I just, shut down. But they got their butts kicked, and the Texans came away with the victory there. I like C.J. Stroud, so I don't hate to see it happen. Good for them. I wanted Flacco to be able to get that big playoff win. That would have been nice. But yeah, I went with the experts on that one, and we were wrong. On the one I went against the experts with was the Dolphins and the Chiefs. And once again, I was shut down. The Dolphins turned out not to be real. They hadn't beat anybody all season. Chiefs kept it close with people. Chiefs are better equipped to play in the snow. I mean, you're not going to get used to playing in the snow or playing in the cold when you're in Miami, no matter what time of year it is. But I went against the experts on that one, the expert analysts and stuff, and I was wrong again. So that's terrible. Yeah, I know. That doesn't look good. So then we have Sunday's game. The Bills game got moved. It got moved to Monday. So the first game was the afternoon game between the Packers and the Cowboys. That was the one game where me and her went against each other on. Well, I went against my daughter. I went with the experts. I was wrong. I went against the experts. I was wrong. I went against my daughter, and I was wrong. Yeah, she was right. I was wrong. And once again, it was a beatdown. The Cowboys got the ever-loving crap beat out of them. I mean, none of these games were good games. I mean, luckily I wasn't invested in any of them. A tad bit with the Browns, but I do like Texans, as I said. But I was wrong about that one, too. So then we had the night game where we were back on the same side, me and her, going against most of the analysts with the Rams and the Lions. And finally, I got one right. Yay! The Lions beat the Rams, and they really beat the Rams. I mean, it was a closer game. It was actually probably the only good game all weekend in terms of two competitive teams who gave each other a run. But the Lions got it done. They win. It was a huge moment for Detroit. It was even a big moment for me. I'm not going to blow it up too much, like I had that much invested in it. I'm not like a fan of any of the players on the team. It's like, okay, that guy's okay, that guy's all right. That's nice. But really, it's the fandom that I had when I was a kid for Barry Sanders, who was on the sideline. Dan Campbell, the coach, everybody's into him, and he seems like a pretty cool dude. So we like that. But yeah, that one I was right. So that's the one pick I got right all weekend. So which brings us to Monday, and it was the Bills versus the Steelers. I went with the Bills, once again going with some of the popular analysts, but I'm a Josh Allen fan. I think that's safe to say. It's kind of gone from like, I kind of like this guy to I'm a fan. It was a hell of a game. Mason Rudolph, you see why he didn't have a bad game necessarily, but you see why he was the third string quarterback for so long with Pittsburgh. It's not. People, they wanted to create some kind of magic, and maybe there was the narrative like Rudolph saving the day at Christmas time, and how long will that last? Well, guess what? We may still have our tree up, but Christmas is over, and Rudolph's run is over. So Mason Rudolph is done. Josh Allen shows out like the stud that he is, and the Bills trounced the Steelers. It looked like it might have been competitive for a minute, and then the Bills pulled ahead even further again. So that's my AFC favorite. That's my pick in the AFC. And yeah, they got it done. I mean, Steelers, your season's over, and now we're gonna just see what happens in the coaching situation there. If Tomlin will stay, or if after 17 years he's gonna move on. Something crazy like that. I know he's been coaching 17 years. I guess it's been all Pittsburgh, but for a decade of coaching at Pittsburgh, just out of there, a decade, a little more. But anyway, that brings us to the night game, which was the Eagles and the Chiefs. Once again, I was wrong. She was wrong on this one too. And I think the analysts went back and forth on that one. It was kind of in the middle, leaning either way. But I can't believe Tampa Bay showed out and the Eagles just didn't show up. I've never seen a bigger collapse in my life in any sport. You went 10-1, and you were seen as the best team in the NFC. 10-1. It was you or the Niners. That was the debate 2 months ago. Is it Niners or Eagles? Who's the best team? And then once the Niners beat the Eagles, they didn't just beat you, they took your soul. I mean, they literally took everything you had and you were left with nothing and you never recovered. You won one game after that and you lost, what was it? Was it 6? You went 1-6? No, I'm sorry, 1-5. You went 1-5 after going 10-1. Like what happened? What happened to the NFC champions of last year? And now where do they go? Now Sirianni's on the chopping block, the coach. Is he going to get fired? People are blaming Jalen Hurts, saying he's not the guy we thought he was from last year. Maybe he's the problem. I mean, it's unbelievable the collapse from last year. Now there is a stigma on the teams that lose the Super Bowl and they go on to kind of bottom feed the next year and fall to the bottom of the division or just don't make the playoffs or whatever. But the Patriots have come back after losing, and that hasn't happened to them. The Chiefs came back after losing a Super Bowl and won another Super Bowl 2 years later. Bengals were still a contender last year after losing a Super Bowl. So it doesn't always happen, everybody. But why the Eagles and why now? Like, what happened? So now, we talked about the coach firings, and I mean, there's still Black Monday last week. There's still going to be some firings. There already was, and now there's going to be more. And it's just what's going to happen from here. Belichick is getting interviewed by the Atlanta Falcons. Jim Harbaugh is getting interviewed by the Falcons and the Chargers. We don't know what's going to happen there. It's just chaos right now. It seems, and who would have thought at the start of the season that we would have this foursome in the NFC? Like, okay, 49ers, all right, you saw it coming, okay? Everybody knew it was coming. The only thing that stopped them last year was the injuries, and they had to put in a running back at quarterback. But really, who saw Tampa Bay coming in with Baker Mayfield? Who saw the Detroit Lions? Who saw that happening? Nobody saw that. I mean, yeah, they thought Dan Campbell would do better. Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love, I thought he was a bust. Where did he come from? I mean, nobody saw these coming. AFC, okay, Bills, Chiefs, that they've been hanging around the last few years. So we figured that. Ravens, if Lamar could stay healthy, yeah, we'd see him there. But my gosh, the NFC, it just makes no sense. I mean, Texans are the one team in the AFC that came out of nowhere. But in the NFC, I mean, it was 3 out of the 4 came out of nowhere pretty much. But, I mean, it's exciting. I'm still going with Bills Niners in the Super Bowl. I got the nice underdog pick of the Bills, at least underdog because they were 6-6. I think even at one point they were 5-6, and now all of a sudden they just a fire got lit under them and they just plowed ahead, won the division, made it, and now they're just one game away from the AFC Championship. And then in the NFC, I got to go with the Niners. I'm going with the popular pick there. So I wouldn't mind if Detroit got in there either. I'm not looking forward to Green Bay or Tampa getting in there. So we'll see. I don't think they have enough juice to last. We're going to find out what happens there. But anyway, so my picks there. I got 49ers and Lions on the NFC side. And the AFC side, I think the Bills are going to beat the Chiefs. And I think, I don't know. You know what? I want to pick the underdog so bad. I'm going to go with the Texans over the Ravens. Something's going to happen with the Ravens. It just ain't going to be all perfect. People have been predicting them all year. Not going to happen. Texans are going to do it. The Cinderella story doesn't end for C.J. Stroud. All right. What do you got to add to the podcast?
The Eagles suck.
All right. Got any more you want to give them?
Not really.
I don't think she was as prepared.
Nope.
Nope, she wasn't, but maybe the next podcast. We're still working on it. Yeah. All right, so we got to go back to school. It's been 2 days of no school, and she's been hanging out with Dad. Yeah, hanging out with Dad at work, playing on a tablet, is better than school. That tells you what the school system is like these days, But or I could take it as a compliment to me. Hey.
Sure.
Maybe not. She hesitated. That's bad. I mean, that's like asking a girl out on a date and she's just like, maybe. All right. So that's another episode of Maverick Dempsey's podcast. Look, hit the like button. We love getting the views. Let's get some likes too. Let's get some subscribers. Let's up the numbers here. Come on, do it for her. All right, and do it for me too. My name's First. All right. Peace out. All right, that was good.
It's still going.
Yep, it is still going. All right, let's try that again. Let's try that again. All right. So, that's it for Maverick Dempsey's podcast. Peace out.